This is the drone video of Cusick Creek Restoration Phase 1. The video starts off at the upstream or top of Phase 1. Please note this video was shot in August, so the site is looking at its worst. The vegetation along the creek is a dense mixture of willows, sedge, rush, cattails, and a few alder trees. The creek is protected by fencing, and the livestock are provided water from a trough and a pipeline system seen on the right-hand side of the screen. As the drone flight continues downstream, you will see a buck and pole fence coming up here shortly. Right there. That the owners are attempting to establish aspen and cottonwood in the exclosures. The fence is designed to keep elk and deer away from the plantings. Just downstream from the buck and pole fence, as we progress the video, you can see the rock riffle structure that diverts some of the high flow water down the old ditch that was used to capture all of Cusick Creek. The diversion has saved Phase 1 a couple of times. In the area has experienced extreme high flows due to rain on snow events. If the excess water had not gone down the old ditch, the raw banks of the new channel in Phase 1 would have suffered high erosion rates. Now with the well-established vegetation, the new channel should be able to handle high water much better. As the drone continues its flight, if I hit the right button, you can see on the left several mounds of soil right here. And this is the old ditch right there. This dirt was removed from digging the new channel, and our intention is to push the soil into the old ditch and construct a shallow grass swale. The swale will capture some high water, but not nearly to the extent of what was needed in previous years. And the drone video continues as you watch the cattle move along. And we're coming to a bridge, and you can see the pilot of the video down there to the left. And just below the bridge, you can see another buck and pole exclosure and more dirt mounds. The dirt mounds right here in the old ditch. Buck and pole right there. It's harder to see the riparian vegetation along this stretch, but there are numerous willows and sedges and rush along the bank's edge, and some caged material showing the extensive growth potential. We continue on down. And here you note the owners are building a new house, and there's a small island structure in the middle of the stream. And there's another area protected by buck and pole, and off in the distance here is the Thief Valley Reservoir. The drone soon crosses a hardened crossing. I can get it to play. This is the buck and pole structure to protect aspen planting. Aspen and cottonwood. And right here is the hardened crossing for livestock to get to the other side of the stream. After the crossing, note the heavy vegetation along here. This is a mixture of yellow clover and willow. The clover is so dense it has become a problem. Along the way to the county road to the newly installed culvert, there are several places of sediment deposition, if you note carefully. And then this is the new culvert put on the county road, and that leads to public land and Thief Valley Reservoir. And here's where the drone makes a 180-degree turn and heads back up Cusick Creek from the bottom to the top at a lower elevation to get a better look at some of the vegetation. And there's a buck and pole exclosure, and hopefully if I can stop this in time, you can see some of the sediment deposition coming forming right there. Sediment deposition forming, and that's what you want to have happen in this particular situation, capturing as much of the sediment as we can. And it continues on up. You can see the extensive amount of willows growing here, and there's the hardened crossing in higher detail. The buck and pole exclosure, extensive willow growth, another buck and pole, and a very well-defined channel from the newly constructed area. And more caged vegetation planting. They have a heavy elk and deer population in this particular wet meadow complex. More of the same coming along here. Extensive, healthy vegetation. Considering this is only a few years old, the restoration project, it's quite impressive, in my opinion. Cows moving along, doing what cows do. And you can see some bank shaping going on right here from the previous project. Well vegetated with some grasses. Heavy cattails, tules, and the backside of that diversion structure there. And this should be about the end. Coming up, end of the phase 1 reach. And there you go.